perfect. We did get there. That was an exceptionally good, strong start. What's going on, guys? If you want to support our content and pick up this month's amazing Patreon rewards, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves. If you're interested in custom playmats and sleeves, visit yourplaymat.com and use code ITRESOLVES10YP for 10% off your entire purchase. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another challenge week video. Before we jump into this one, if you don't know what the challenge week is, essentially what we do is task our amazing community with building around a particular card. We provide the card and the format, and the rest is entirely up to you. We ask you guys to be very creative, have some fun with it. We are looking for wins, but we are looking to just have some fun as well, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do today. Now, I do also just want to say I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. If you happen to be in the US, obviously, hopefully you got some time to celebrate with friends and family. Outside the US, doesn't really apply to you, but that's okay. Let's talk about today's deck. So, the build around card, Hallowed Haunting, is what we are looking at. This is a really interesting one. Really focused on getting as many enchantments out as possible. So naturally, we have got ourselves a shrines list. Now, this is given to us by the Last Orphan, their first time in the challenge submission channel. So thank you so much, Last Orphan. Very happy to have you. And I'm very glad to see this deck because I think this is very much in line with something that I was hoping we would see, which is very much the Sanctum of All kind of Honden style shrine list. So the way that this works is essentially it's just a basic shrines list with some added bonus. So the Sanctum of All allows us to basically pull out a bunch of shrines from our deck or from our graveyard as needed. The idea is to get a bunch of them down. They basically kind of stack on top of each other. So the idea is, like, as an example, Sanctum of Stone Fangs, perfect example. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life. Now that's going to happen regardless, but it's equal to the number of shrines you control. So the idea is that you get as many shrines as you can out, and that hopefully powers everything up. Now, to slow things down on the opponent's side, because obviously that's going to be a pretty big portion of this, we do have Authority of the Consuls. This is going to gain us life, hopefully enter things tapped on the opponent's side. Only a 1-of, but should be okay. We do have Banishing Light to deal with any really big threats that we need to deal with, like, immediately. Path of Peril, just a nice way to kind of destroy a bunch of the lowdown stuff as needed, or theoretically later on just destroy everything. And then we also have Extinction Event, so this is another way to kind of sweep the board. Elspeth Conquers Death is in here, Fumigate is in here. We've got a lot of sweeper options, things that are going to deal with everything that we need to deal with. The goal is hopefully just to draw them at the right time. Obviously, the Hallowed Haunting is our win condition. We do have Sythis in here as well, though. Gaining us life, drawing us cards, things like that. And then, of course, Setessan Champion, which can also draw us some cards and just be a big beater on her own. So we've got a lot of stuff, guys. This is going to be an interesting one. I do really like the shrines list. As you can see, the lands are very interesting, as they should be. But we're going to have a really good time with it. Again, the Last Orphan, thank you so much. We're going to send this through 3 games. Let's see what we can get. Hopefully, we can at least get a couple wins. All right, guys, here we are for game number 1. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty easy keep. It's not anything crazy, but we do have our way of getting our mana here. And then, of course, we actually have a number of things we can play just right off the bat. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think we're actually going to end up leading on the Temple Garden just to get that down tapped, so we don't have to shock ourselves later. Island is actually a pretty good draw because next turn we'll probably go Fabled Passage and see what we hit. Ooh, even better. Okay, let's do this. We'll go ahead and throw the Sanctum of Tranquil Light out. Not an amazing play by any means, but it is a Sanctum, it is a shrine, and we do need just as many of those as we can get down. That's perfect. So I think what we're gonna do is just go ahead and Banishing Light on this. And then next turn, we're 1 enchantment closer to having that Hallowed Haunting out, as well as Sythis. Now, keeping in mind, Sythis is just good on her own, so we might end up wanting to throw Sythis out here, but, you know, we'll see, we'll see. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and get a black source, I believe, or, maybe it's a red source just to open up all options. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go red source. And Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go for the Hallowed Haunting. This is the namesake of this whole challenge, so I feel like we have to go for that and just see what happens here. Now, the Helm of the Host is a very scary card, let me just say. They've got big creatures clearly in this deck. I'm sure that's something that they're trying to do, and so copying them is very, very scary. We do have the Extinction Event, though, which is part of why I didn't want to just run the Sythis out here. There's a chance that we end up wanting to you know, sweep the board and not kill our own Sythis. So their Gaia's Blessing on the Gaia's Blessing is a very interesting one. That's very interesting. Okay, so let's do this first. What do we need? I think we get second black, I guess. We've got some options here, truthfully. So let's do this. It's gonna give us some stuff, and then let's do this. And this is gonna do a lot more for us here. And we get another Sythis, very interesting. So now even if we do happen to sweep, we can we can rebuild here, of course. And now, I mean, I'm feeling relatively good about our position, honestly. We can actually Extinction Event just the Pelt Collector, which is kind of interesting. Sure. Maskwood Nexus. Oh, interesting. Okay. That leads me to believe we should actually get rid of this Pelt Collector. Maybe that's incorrect, I don't know. Oh, that's grand. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Perfect. Let's get this out of there. I guess we could actually get rid of the Helm of the Host or, you know, any of this stuff, but I think truthfully with the Maskwood Nexus coming down, I think we just want to get rid of the creatures. And now we're actually in pretty reasonable shape. This is very good, by the way. This little combo that they've got going on, they essentially just get to explore a lot, which is cool. Okay, I think we go for the Honden of Life's Web, or of Cleansing Fire, excuse me, not Life's Web. Alternatively, we could do this. That's not an enchantment though, so I'm gonna go this route. We do kind of just want to build up the enchantments as best we can. These all have flying now. One card I did not see. Does this win? Yeah, that exactly wins. Perfect. We did get there. That was an exceptionally good strong start. The last Orphan, fantastic. Let's see if we can get some more wins. All right, guys, here we are for game number 2. Now, this is a much slower hand, but I do think we're gonna give this one a shot here. We've got the double white here with the Pathway land, which is actually quite relevant. Because we do need to get this Haunting down, but we don't sacrifice the green, thankfully, because of that Temple Garden. So we're gonna give this a shot. It may not work, I've got no idea, but so far, Orphan, we're kind of doing the right thing, so I'm into it. Let's go ahead and get that red source down. That's gonna allow us to get the Sanctum of Shattered Heights next turn, which is quite useful. It looks like we're up against a ramp deck, which is very, very scary, I just want to point out. Let's go ahead and do this, and let's play that Sanctum now. Next turn, we'll probably want to drop the Hallowed Haunting. Alternatively, we can fetch a Black Source and Extinction Event if we need to. So that's certainly a possibility, but I think now we just want to go ahead and get this down. This just provides so much value to everything that we play later on in the game. Now, if they do happen to play a creature of any kind, we can just Banishing Light it. If they happen to play really any permanent, we can just Banishing Light it. Now they do have 1 green available to them. Curious to see what they might have. Looks like nothing, which is fine by me. Let's do this. Whoops. Let's go ahead and get a Black Source here. That is going to open up that Extinction Event for us, which is very relevant. And let's go ahead and play the Cleansing Fire. It's going to drop a Spirit. It's also going to gain us some life later on. I wish we could. That's okay. Discard a land or a shrine card. Okay. Something to keep in mind. The Shattered Heights is quite good for certain things, so just something to think about. X is the number of shrines, so we've got 2. So this is basically a shock, if we would like to use it. Also, guys, I really do hope, again, this only applies if you're in the US, and that's totally fine, but if you happen to have celebrated Thanksgiving, I really hope you had a fantastic time. It was a really nice chance to catch up with family and just kind of hang out. I was very happy to spend some time with both Caitlin and I's side of the family. Being married now, we get to really push each side of the family a little bit. So it was really fun. A little bit stressful as it always is, but it's all good. We had a fantastic time and ate a lot. More than I care to admit, but it was delicious. We also had celebrated, or decorated, not celebrated, for Christmas quite early. And so we were like trying to wait it out and see if we could help set up for Christmas on our family's end, and then they ended up not doing it this weekend, and so we were a little bummed about that because we were really wanting to set things up and just have a fun time with everybody. But there's something to that, setting up Christmas with that Christmas music going on, man. I don't know, it's so fun. But that is okay. My goodness, we've got all three of these. Which is very good, but I think the play, well, is it though? So this drops 2 more spirits. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna save that Banishing Light, because what we can do is just attack these here and get rid of this. I can't believe we have all 3 of these. Orphan, we're kind of kicking it. I mean, this is pretty good. This allows us to save that Banishing Light for something a little scarier, like this. Yeah. That's terrifying. Thankfully, we actually have a decent amount of, whatever. So it's a ward 10? Ugh. No blocks, that's fine. We're gonna take the 10. Not exactly a healthy life total, but it is what it is. Let's see, this is an odd, so we actually can just do this, can't we? And it doesn't target thanks to the ward. That would have been a big problem, but thankfully it doesn't target, so we don't have to pay the ward cost. We can just get that out of there. We also have the Path of Peril that can come down next turn if we need it to, so that's fine. This is actually perfectly fine because, again, we can just Banishing Light this, which solves that problem. And gives us 3 spirit tokens. This, oh, tap target permanents activate. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. So this can get indestructible, but it can't get hexproof, which is very relevant. And there we go, we got the win. That's 2 games. Orphan starting off very, very strong. Let's see if we can get a clean sweep. And here we are for game number 3. Now guys, I just want to point something out to you. We did actually have the client crash in between these games. I had already started a 3rd game, so we may see a loss there, but or it'll show a little loss on our little platinum thing, or our ranking, but I'm not counting that against the last Orphan. That's not really on them, that's on the client, so I can't really justify saying that's their fault. This is an interesting hand. Obviously, we very much need to draw some lands here. Now, the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest could help us get there, but we do actually have to get some lands here, so we at least need 1. The Setessan Champion seems like a pretty obvious pick for me, I would think, with this Thoughtseize, but I could be wrong. Nope, they're going to take the Sanctum. Funny enough, we were able to draw another one. We'll drop that Fabled Passage. Hopefully, our next draw is a land. I would really like that. All right, so obviously this is a discard deck, which could be really annoying. It may not be the end of the world though. We'll see. Awkward. All right, no land. Unfortunately, not a great start, Orphan, but we'll see. We might be able to get something to work here. Again, they're just going to make us discard, I think, as much as they can. We do have to discard a card here. I think it's the red Sanctum. Oh no. No. Oh, this feels really bad. I hate when this kind of thing happens. It's very unfortunate. I'm actually going to drop, I'm gonna drop the Elspeth Conquers Death, I think. The Extinction Event might come in handy, we'll see, but I think that's a better option because it looks like they're just going to be playing a lot of little stuff to discard early. And then I'm sure have some kind of payoff in the end, but so far they don't seem to have it. So this is good. I think we're gonna go for the blue because we do want to get that Sanctum of Calm Waters down. This is gonna allow us to draw some cards later in the game, so very, very necessary, especially against a deck like this one. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the safe bet, which is the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. I think the Setessan Champion is a very good card, but this is a mono black deck. We expect that they're gonna have plenty of removal. Not terribly worried about doing anything too crazy here. Okay, I'm gonna go white because that allows us to just drop this. I think that's probably correct. Alternatively, I guess we could show another target creature. Yeah, I guess alternatively we can just go ahead and do the Hallowed Haunting. Let's do that. We're here for the Hallowed Haunting, man. We gotta get it out there before they make us discard it, so I am perfectly fine letting this Gear Hulk hit us for one attack before we deal with it. Okay. 6 and 7, that does make it a bit of an awkward split for us here, but we do have to discard a card as well. I'm gonna discard the champion. Again, not ideal, but that's fine. We do need the black, so let's do black. We can Extinction Event, which will use up most of it. Alternatively, we can do this. But also, we don't have a great deal with this. I think we just have to drop this and throw it here. That's not ideal, I know, that's fine, but it gets this out of here, which is unfortunately gonna be the thing that makes us sacrifice a lot of stuff. All right, I think it's this. We need that Sanctum of Calm Waters, I think, and hopefully they can't make us discard it this turn. If they can't, we might be in okay shape. This is getting scary, but we got this. We got this 100%. All right, let's do this. That's very, very good. Okay. Sanctum of Stone Fangs, perfect. Let's get this down. Sanctum of Calm Waters, also perfect. Let's get that down. Now we're talking. Now we got a little something. So we're gonna stay on the defensive here. Little worried they could easily have a sweeper. They could have plenty of stuff here, but we can now double block that Gear Hulk if we need to kind of push things in there, get some power off the field, because we are only at 10. Now the Stone Fangs is gonna help us out here, hopefully. If it sticks around, we should be able to gain some life, and then that Calm Waters is actually going to be very helpful as well because it's going to just provide us with more stuff to play. So we may not be out of this. Orphan, this deck is very, very good in my opinion. We'll wrap it up as once we finish up this game, we'll talk about it a little bit, but man, I'm liking this a lot. Opponent seems a little stumped. They don't seem to know what to do at the moment. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that is going to hit us for a decent amount, and then they're going to hit us for 2, but we do crucially gain some amount of life back here, so that's helpful. I would love to draw 4 cards. Discard a card. Yeah, I think it's that, because we can just Extinction Event this. Let's go for black here. And the great thing is we can Extinction Event. Oh, that might, no, we needed to do that. Let's go even, just get that out of there. Unfortunately, we can't play anything else from our hand this turn just because we have awkward mana, but it is what it is. We do have to discard a card here. I'm gonna take the safe play and discard the Hallowed Haunting. As much as I don't want to do that because I know that's the whole point of the deck, I think that's definitely the safe play. Now this time we want to do red, most likely. Discard a card. We'll discard you. And yes, we will go red. Let's go Honden. Let's go Honden. All right. Now we're keeping ourselves in it, and there we go. Orphan, an undefeated clean sweep to start off the week. Wow. Okay, let's chat about this. All All right, so first things first, again, I just want to reiterate that we did have a little bit of an issue in that third game that you did not see. I took it off of camera because we got like turn 2 into the game or something like that, and the whole client just froze up and crashed. And so unfortunately, that's not on Orphan, that is on the client. I just want to reiterate that's not on our deck builder this time. But I just want to say, the last Orphan, this is your first time here, and you show up and go undefeated to start off Hallowed Haunting week. Wow, what a start. Now, something to keep in mind, I just want to point this out. Do not fret. If you submitted a deck and go 3 wins with it, everybody wins. So the goal of this is not to count anybody out yet. I want to make sure that everybody understands you still have a chance to win. You do have to get 3 wins, so it's going to make it hard. But Orphan, man, what a great start to the week. Thank you so much for submitting. I hope that you will stick around and do some more of this in the coming weeks here, because this is a really, really fun one. And thank you so much for putting a shrines list together. I was looking forward to that. But guys, thank you so much. I know we've got a lot of other submissions I cannot wait to get to later in the week. Thank you guys. I love you. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic Monday. Hopefully we'll see you very soon for some more gameplay videos.